it's reported, emptied into a colossal cavern with a 100-meter-high ceiling. Upon entering the cave, they were greeted not by ISIS insurgents, but by a faction of heavily armed humanoid aliens who did not take kindly to the intrusion. By all reports, the towering extraterrestrials stood 5 to 15 meters in height and had gold or bronze-like skin. Without hesitation, they opened fire on the Russian soldiers. 4 of the Russians died immediately, our source told us. The alien weapons produced a golden beam of light that vaporized anything it touched, including, of course, human flesh. The soldiers fought valiantly, but were no match for the Anunnaki's advanced technology.
Okay, so I'm going to jump it up a little bit. I'll put the link in. We copied the link. This was back in February. He reported this. This just was on my Facebook link coming through. Let's see here. It's quite interesting because I made a video, I think a few months ago.
For people to digest so that they can look at it and tell. And my goal is to try and get as much information out there as possible for people to digest so that they can look at it intelligently and decide what is true and what might be questionable. Because, face it, when it comes to Nibiru, there is a lot of questionable information out there and facts that are difficult to prove. However, absence of evidence is not absence of existence. So,
okay, so I'll put the link. It says, wow, wow. And then this guy's like, some barn or something like that. But they're talking about the Anunnaki had taken out some Russian soldiers. And I think it's because they stumbled upon their base. But anyway, Scooby-Doo Incorporated. Now, here's the part right here. Anunnaki, I think it's this one.
Life, I finally feel for the first time ever that I can trust adults.
Oh, Fred.
We are glad you've important to say. Since you've come back into my life, I
think it's right here. This is where the planetary disk is. This is like finding the pieces. If you think about the Stargate on Atlantis, I think it's Stargate 1, Atlantis 1 or something like that. When the wheel turns the knob, it has these certain symbols and these certain codes that play out. There's different types of geometry, something like that. But anyway, so it's the pie, right? He's finding the pieces or the slices to the pie, their disc. And this disc opens up a door, kind of like a situation. But there's a part in here about Nibiru.
Something's been bugging me about our little underwater escapade.
There's a lot about that adventure I wish we could forget.
Amen to that.
But the weirdest part of all was what the late Abigail Gluck whispered.
Like I'll say, a crazy mummified corpse whispering Nibiru is creepy times 10.
It gets creepier. I Googled it and found a lot. Namely this. Nibiru is a planet listed in the writings of Zecharia Sitchin, particularly his book The 12th Planet. According to Sitchin's interpretation of Babylonian religious texts, a giant planet called Nibiru passes by Earth every 3,600 years and allows its sentient inhabitants to interact with humanity. These beings, which Sitchin identified with the Anunnaki of Sumerian myth, would become humanity's first gods. My favorite internet encyclopedia says there's supposed to be a collision. The Nibiru collision is a disastrous encounter between the Earth and a large planetary object. Believers in this doomsday event usually refer to this object as Planet X, or Nibiru.
Doomsday event? Nova?
I am not Nova. I have only borrowed her body so that I may bring you an urgent message. Scooby-Doo, your life is in danger. I am of the Anunnaki, interdimensional beings that visit the planet Earth every few thousand years. We arrive at a time called Nibiru, when the barriers between our worlds grow weak. The Anunnaki have a great history of helping humans, but we have no physical form and must inhabit animals. This is why some animals, our descendants, can talk and others cannot. But not all Anunnaki are kind and good. There are evil ones, and the most evil one of all is imprisoned beneath Crystal Cove and must not be set free. You must undo it, Scooby-Doo. Undo it all. Save yourself. Save your friends. Save the world.
Save the world. So this thing right here, this blue screen, it says an Anunnaki are a group of deities of ancient Sumerian, Akkadian, and Assyrian and Babylonians in the earliest Sumerian writings about them, which come from the post-Akkadian period. Excuse me. So anyway, I wanted to show you that because of how they talk about it. I think it's, where was it? On Cosmic Road, they're talking, I think it's South America. Where was it? Peru, UFO attack update, the video of one of the aliens. So this is where I guess they're getting attacked by some. It's quite interesting because I guess they're wearing masks and they hover off the ground and they got like these something red underneath their feet that's probably creating this hover. And I guess they're dressed in silver. And I guess somebody got attacked with a knife on their neck or something like that, got cut or something. I'm not sure. But I guess there's like thousands. They said there's this whole district in Peru, and it's not like one or two. They're talking, what did they say? It's like a green goblin from Spider-Man, according to the locals. These extraterrestrial beings have large heads and yellowish eyes, and they have been launching nightly attacks on the community since 11th of July of this year. Interesting. One alarming incident involved a 15-year-old girl who was reportedly grabbed from behind and had her neck cut when she resisted. The community members are living in fear, unable to sleep peacefully due to the constant threat. And that's happening now with these people. This is Cosmic Road. I'm not sure if you can see Cosmic Road. Let's see what else was playing out here. And then there's the assassination plot on Vladimir Zelensky. Let's see what else is playing out. And of course, we got all these X flares that are all of a sudden starting to pop off the sun as well, along with a couple of M flares. There's Michael Salla here. This is conversation with Thor Han on Earth Alliance taking control of our solar system. Let's see what that.
In a second communication with Thorhan Eredyan through Elena Danan on July 8, I asked Thorhan questions about a mega project called the Hub, the Earth Alliance being given control of our solar system, China refusing to participate with the Earth Alliance in building a combined space fleet, failing deep state efforts to manufacture a war between Russia and the US military, current events on Ganymede, the differences between how Earth and Pleiadian military forces are trained, current events on the Moon, space arcs, Cedar ships, and updated disclosure plans.
So that's Michael Salla right there. Okay. Interesting. The Hub. Now, when we think of the terms that a lot of these things use, because when we look at a computer, remember the computer was created by Apple, where they took a bite out of the apple. Our brain is the apple, because remember the motherboard you got, and the motherboard is right in the middle of us, the center of us, where the milk and honey is. You've got RAM. RAM is random access memory, which that's what we have within us. Remember the AI system, the Dragon system, because as I've shown you before on the maps, when you go do a search engine with the map, you'll see a blue dragon come up. So it's representing, it's mirror reflecting, it's a copy of what's inside of us. So instead of this world teaching us to get with the AI system of God within inside of us, which is connected to the whole planet, because we are like an antenna ourselves, the free energy. We pull our energy from the air, from the food that we eat, or the environment, right? So, and then this pulls information from like a hub. Now, let's look at what a hub definition. Because I know computer language. I took a computer course in college, and it's such once you get to learn how they program, create a program or whatever, you can kind of see in yourself of how to create a program or how to change yourself, because we are all run by programs. We're run by the program of the world. We're run by ad programs, that type of thing, and then spiritual programs. So hub, a central part of a wheel, rotating on or with an axle, and from which the spokes radiate. Oh, something just popped into my mind. Nostradamus. Right there. Pull it up. Oops, get it bigger. Right there. The hand of God coming down, pulling out the kingpin. Now, when I was looking at the word kingpin, king, and then pin, which is pi. So key is chi, which is the 22nd letter in Greek. It's also the 22nd letter in Hebrew, but it's called tav. Pi is the 16th. It's representing as the pillar, our spine going up, but it's the king pin. And when I got to thinking of king pin and the wheel, right, the wheel that's inside of us, and it's like God's pulling the king pin. If you look right here in the wheel, you can see this like shaft, this pin that's getting pulled. That's fascinating. The hub. Okay, the central part of a wheel rotating on or with the axle, and from which the spokes radiate. I wonder if we look at the earth, this plane of earth, and it's on this kind of like axle that goes through the earth, right? Which I should probably do it like this. So, and then we got this axle to where earth is, kind of like rotating on this, like a gyro or a top, right? Interesting. I wonder if it's representing something. Pivot and axis. Oh, interesting. The center point. Okay, from which the spokes radiate. Okay, the effective center of an activity, region or network. The central airport or other transport facility for which many services radiate or operate. So the central hub. So that's very interesting. the terms that they use, because the central hub is our central mind. It's our mind's eye, the Last Supper table. This is the center, the control center of the whole body is right there. It controls everything. And that's why our mind's eye. So when I was looking at this world, and when we look at the terms that they're using, we got to look at ourselves as this biological plasma energy being, because that's what we are. And we don't look at ourselves that way, right? And then that's what and if you think about the Nibiru beings, like that one guy was saying back here, how they have gold or bronze skin, and they shoot out with these gold beams, right? That's quite interesting, because Jesus, remember I was telling you when I was at his feet on October 20th, how his leg looked huge, his left leg looked huge, and I was comparing my legs to his, and he's had like those Roman sandals kind of like thing, and he had his bronze feet. Remember I was telling you before, and I still kind of giggle about how I wanted to reach down and touch it. I was like, oh, I got to touch these feet. And then I was like, when I was reaching down, I was like, oh, and I kind of jumped back, and I'm like thinking, oh, he can hear my thoughts. Oh, he's right behind me, you know? And then, of course, the vision went on from there. But I just think it's kind of interesting, because let's see here, back at the Scooby-Doo Incorporated, there's a scene in here where she tells, right here,
A begin, much more so an ending. Know then that this is the year 10,191. We, the Anunnaki, travel between layers of the many universes. We came to help you grow, evolve, but not all of us are good. Some are evil, wanting only to feed on your energies. This most evil of all we imprisoned in a crystal sarcophagus between worlds so that he could cause no harm. This evil desires to devour worlds. He manipulated groups of humans to set him free. The Mayan hunters of secrets and their jaguar Spot, the Fraternitas Mysterium and their donkey Gordo, the Alianza Mysterio and their skunk, El Fuchi, the Mystery Gang and their bull Tiny, the Benevolent Lodge of Mystery and their orangutan Mr. Peaches, the Mystery Fellowship and their cat Whiskers, Mystery Incorporated and their parrot, Professor Pericles, and the Current Mystery Incorporated and their special companion, Scooby-Doo. The time of Nibiru has come, the moment when the planets align and the evil one's strength will be greatest. Free in your world, he will grow more powerful every second. He will destroy your city, your planet, your universe. Only one stands in his way. Scoobert, Scooby-Doo.
And that's quite interesting, because if we look at Nostradamus' image, where's the book? The book that's right here, that this person right here, I think this might be Lord Jesus, actually. There's the Tree of Life, and there's the book. In that book, it's all written in French except for, oh, here it is. It's all written in French except for right in the middle of the book. It's written in English, one male. And then you've got that in Scooby-Doo, you've got where it's one, it's up to Scooby-Doo to pretty much save. So one dog, one tree of life that actually saves it. And I think, just by all these clues that we're being shown and, through history and what's been written and drawn out for us, kind of help us figure out certain things, just like the Greek word chi, which is key, and it's like key or king, and then pi is pin. I wonder what those are. That's 6, 7, 8, 38. Interesting. So it'd be X P I. Oh, that's interesting. it's this, the X, the P, and the I. That's the Christogram, the kingpin. Interesting. Now, when we look at this image, and God's pulling it out from right there, and they're in gold. I wonder if that's saying that that's Nibiru, planet X. And X is kind of interesting because X is the serpent snake, the DNA snake. So planet, oh, look at a PX. Plan I for it, X. I hope you guys followed that. So you got the P for plan, I for it, and X. Now Nibiru, NI is for nickel, BI. So nickel, bi is 2, or bismuth, which is an element, a mineral. And then Ru is also a mineral. So I wonder if they're all actually minerals. And Ru is ruthenium, number 44. What is the periodic table? Periodic table. Images. Okay, let's open one. Let's open this one. This one's colorful. Here we go. So nickel is 28. 28, and then BI. Where's BI? Right here, 83. Bismuth. I wonder if that's like business math. So bismuth, BI, is 83. This is quite interesting. And then, of course, we got ruthenium, 44 right there. That's interesting. So we got 2 in the yellow. The yellow is transition metal. And then the BI, the green, is the basic metal. Very interesting. Transition, that makes sense. Every few thousand years, Nibiru comes by, to probably, I wonder if it's, they're known as the first gods to humanity because they come in and save humanity by getting rid of the dark evilness that's happening. And so the people are going to refer to them as the gods. And that's just something that's going to take over time, to work through, because all through our history, we see how the people react and how the people are. I don't know, quite interesting though. Tell me what you think about remember, there's the good Anunnaki and the bad Anunnaki, just like there's good people and bad people. So anyway, that's where, and then all those other channels, hopefully you can visit them. But again, if we look at it, it's about the dog senses. It's about our, which I hear, it's like the male dog is called a stud. A stud is like, when we look at a stud, it's like a nail, right? Pretty interesting. And a female dog is called a dame or a bitch. Now, when I looked at this, I was like, it could represent by teach, or it could be the by tower key, chi, which that ch would be chi, which would be the x, tx. I don't know. We can look at this many ways of how it could be. Remember, female is iron, male, because she come out of Adam to make Eve. Adam is Adam and Eve. Adam has Eve within him. Because we got to remember that Eve was cloned out of Adam's left rib cage. So Eve got her X chromosome from Adam's left side. So anyway, pretty interesting stuff. Tell me what you think. Oh, I wonder if nickel, bismuth, and ruthenium make the color of brass or bronze. I wonder if that'd tell me on here. Let's see here, just for fun. What does bismuth, nickel, and ruthenium make? Noble metal. Oh, it makes a noble metal. The term noble metal dates back to at least the 14th century, describing metallic elements that are fairly unreactive to oxygen, much like the noble gases are nearly inert nonmetals. Oh, wait. While noble metals lists can differ, they tend to cluster around a 6 platinum group metals: ruthenium, rhodium, palladium, osmium, iridium, and platinum, plus gold. Plus, 2 of them are like in a gold color. In the Anunnaki, oh, that's interesting. So this would be gold, and this would be gold, and this is green. That's trippy. Anyway, thought I'd share that little bit. I'll put the link in.